Welcome back to the Beantown Boys podcast. And today we actually have a little bit of non-hockey stuff to go over.
Don't worry, we don't want to bore you too much. It's just a little bit.
Yeah, we'll bring it back in here. Once again, joined by Dylan Eward, Kid Sawyer, and I'm Leo Brown. And I'm just going to be quiet so you guys can talk about... You said the names earlier. No idea who you're talking about.
So the only thing in basketball that I'm actually finally allowed to talk about is...
So moving right along here.
How about them Bruins?
Our head coach, Brad Stevens, has signed a 6-year extension for $22 million, which I find is very helpful because he is one of, if not the best coach in the league right now. He will be the best when Greg Popovich finally retires.
Pops. Love that guy.
Now, moving along, we got The Rock buying the XFL. Can you smell what The Rock is buying?
He was sniffing out a bargain.
That's
See,
my
now,
thing.
he probably even got it cheaper because him and McMahon are, like, close.
It wasn't even... I think they bought it for $10 million.
Yeah.
For
that's nothing for him.
a
It's him
sports
and-
league?
That's
Like, it's
nothing
the
for
whole
him.
league.
It's him and a bunch of other people.
See,
Yeah,
does
there's
that
a bunch
mean
of people.
McMahon doesn't help run it anymore?
He's out. Wow. Which is fine.
See, now that might change, like, how the XFL is going to be ran then.
That's fine.
Well, yeah, that's kind of how that works.
But, no shit. But the thing is, a lot of the money was brought in because they made the XFL new and better.
Yeah, I mean,
So
I'm
now
sure
it's
The
going to be
Rock...
interesting to see what he changes.
Oh, yeah. Guess I should mention. So we recorded this in my house, and my father is outside working on
He's
my
doing
house.
fatherly duties.
Yeah, he's working on my house, and he said he wasn't going to take a break while we're recording. So I don't know if you can hear that,
break.
but if you can, I'm sorry.
Just call him a dickhead in the comments.
Yep. Comment down below. So yeah.
Stop Dirty Dan.
One thing I saw about The Rock buying it is he said he wanted to buy it because he thought there was a lot of reality TV potential,
Oh,
which is a little
God.
scary. But
It's going to turn back into the old XFL.
hopefully the core of it stays the same where it's just minor league football, which is what... Honestly, if football was lacking anything, that's what it lacked.
What it's going to be is they're probably going to do more sideline interviews. Like, I felt bad for, like, the guy that missed the field goal.
You just shanked it. And then
Yeah,
he was gonna
and the
do an
guy
interview.
goes, they're like, so what are you going to do to fix that
Well, I'm going to hit it in between the posts next time.
and not bank it off? And the funny thing is he made the game-winning field goal afterwards, too.
Yeah, there it is, man. But, like, I don't know. It's definitely...
See, now
it's good that it's just staying. Like, that. It needed to stay.
I didn't read it. Is Luck still owning it a little bit, though? Or
I didn't see anything about that.
I was going to say, because he's the one that made it what it is now.
All I saw was The Rock and his little group of people that he brought together for this body.
I don't know if he bought it off Shane McMahon, not Shane, Vince McMahon's portion, or
I
if
don't
he
know.
bought everything.
I have
Because
no
maybe
idea.
if it's only $10 million, it's probably just off of Vince's.
Maybe just to buy a majority or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you still hold a majority share, you're technically the owner.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it depends. Vince didn't have much of a share compared to Luck. Luck ran basically the whole thing. Vince was there just to have the name on the XFL.
Yeah. I don't know. It'll be interesting. I'm glad that it's staying because they were actually doing well.
But the thing is now that they're actually going to be having competition.
What do you mean?
The NCAA is pushing their season out to the spring this year because of COVID.
Well, yeah. I mean, everybody's doing that, though.
I know, but the thing is now you're going to be having the NCAA, which is bigger than football to a lot of people, bigger than NFL.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
really only
So-
down in, like...
But
the
that's where
South.
all the XFL teams are. There's no northern teams. There's Texas,
No,
DC.
there's a Seattle team.
There's one Seattle team, but what I'm saying is like there's mostly all down south.
Well, yeah. They wanted to make money.
Exactly.
The
So
South
that's
and
what I'm saying.
the
So
South
you're
and the
losing a lot of the
Midwest.
people that
Dude,
are just
there's-
going to watch football.
There's enough football fans down there that as long as they schedule the games on a different day, they'll be fine.
The
football
South
is
and
that
Midwest is college
healthy
first
down
in
there.
pretty much everything.
Well, if they schedule it all just on Sunday, then yeah, because you don't want to be competing against a Saturday rivalry, like the Red River rivalry. Try to say that 10 times fast.
Does college football play on Friday nights?
They play Fridays and Saturdays.
Okay, so
Friday
as
Night
long
Lights.
as
Yeah.
long as it's not
Actually, not a lot of them play Fridays either. That's
Yeah,
not until
so,
like the
they
championships.
just if they schedule it right, they'll be fine. Like they probably
If you do
won't get
weekdays, you'll get it.
they probably won't sell out quite like they did, at the first crack. But
Yeah.
as long as they're getting
As long as you open up with a Rock saying finally,
yeah.
you're gonna get the views.
Can you smell?
But
What the
speaking
fuck?
of football, George Kittle signed. I guess it's a big deal for him. It's not like huge, but 5 years, 75 mil
I was gonna say,
extension.
can you look up who's the most paid tight end right now? Because I feel like Kittle's the best tight end in the league.
Kelsey might have something to say about that.
Kelsey might, but I still feel like it's close. Kittle, Kelsey. If Gronk performs this year, Gronk. But that's how I look at that.
Kelsey might have a hand with a ring on it that says differently.
Kind of took it off of Kittle's hand right there too. So
It is Kelsey.
it is. All right, because I was
What's
gonna
he
say.
$9,368,400, and then Kyle Rudolph is $9,025,000.
That guy's getting paid that much.
He's Steelers, right?
Rudolph?
Rudolph? No,
Vikings.
he's Vikings. Yeah.
I was gonna say, there's
I don't
Vikings.
know.
He hasn't been relevant in a little bit.
No, he hasn't.
But
But
it's not a
look
bad
at your
deal.
quarterback too, and the receivers.
Yeah, he
that's
can't
why I'm saying
perform
like
on Monday
that's why I'm
nights.
saying Kittle's the only really target that San Fran has. Mahomes has Kittle, Watkins.
You mean Kelsey?
Wow.
So Kelsey. Yeah, that.
Yeah, noted football guy over here. Yeah, jeez.
I'm talking. I'm.
Kelsey Watkins. He has McCole Hardman. Love that name. And obviously, what's that guy's name again? I think it's one of the best wide receivers in the league, Tyreek Hill.
Reek,
That's what I'm
baby.
saying. That's why. And then you go over to San Fran.
Reek
They
the
lost.
streak.
They lost Samuel. Goodwin said he's not playing this year. And so now all you have is Kittle. Unless you want to sign Antonio Brown and not have him for 8 weeks.
It's better than not having any receiver at all for the whole season.
Mm.
I'd rather have one sit out for 8 weeks.
I'd rather
and get him
sign
back.
Gordon.
But
You want to know who I'd rather sign? Me.
exactly,
Dude, you see my post route? Oh, God, disgusting.
fucking filthy.
Disgusting post route.
He literally doesn't even need to touch somebody to injure them. He just breaks their ankles.
Yeah.
Literally broken. They snap. You can see the bones.
It's just, hey,
It's just a natural talent, man.
it is what it is. Nothing I can do about it.
They call him the Shiesty Shifter.
All right, get into
Yeah.
your hockey.
Yeah, I mean, we can, we'll start off with Columbus, I guess.
Because they fucked the whole schedule.
Yeah. So, if you're under a rock.
Well, are we going to talk about Game 5 and Toronto's downfall?
No,
Or-
well, if we get to Toronto, we'll save it. Honestly, I can give my quick thoughts on Toronto,
That's what I wanted.
but if we want to get in depth, I'm gonna prep some stuff and then I can get into it.
I was
Let's
going
say-
to
yeah,
say,
just
schedule
save
it
it.
for next week.
Yeah, but if you want the short of it, I mean, the team just wasn't built to go deep. It's an 8th seed team with first seed expectations. I mean,
Well, because you have first seed offensive talent.
yeah.
And that's it.
And then you
Yeah.
have last seed defense.
And honestly, in Game 5, Toronto just couldn't get a bounce. Okay,
Off the post.
to win a Stanley Cup, you need a solid group of forwards, solid defense, good coaching, and
a
lights
hot
out goaltending.
It doesn't
But
need
you
to be a good
also
goalie.
need
It just needs to be hot.
luck. You need the bounces to go your way. And Toronto got their bounces in Game 4, but in Game 5, couldn't get a bounce.
I mean, I think part of it to get a bounce is you have to keep working for the puck, and that's just not something that they're built to do. They don't grind the corners as much as some other teams. They get outworked.
Yeah, I mean, if Tavares doesn't hit the post on that shot, completely different game. If it goes in, who knows? But the bounces didn't go their way.
They also don't
lost.
show a lot of heart in the game either.
Well,
If they're
I
down,
would-
they automatically just put their heads down.
yeah, I mean, the Stars, the core group, they left it all on the ice. Like, they tried. They really tried. Like,
Zach Hyman tries night in and night out.
Oh
yeah, but he's not part of the core. Like,
No,
I'm
he's not, but I'm saying,
I'm
like, that
talking
guy-
He's talking about
Matthews, Tavares, Marner, and
Nylander.
Riley. Nylander is not part of the core, in my opinion.
I mean, with that contract, I think they're definitely committed to him.
Yeah, they've committed to him, but like, it's a very movable deal. I wouldn't do it because it's not smart.
What
But
about
like,
Anderson, would you consider him part of that core?
No.
Being the goalie?
he's a UFA in a year and he's going to walk. We can't afford to pay him more than what he's making, so he's going to walk. But yeah, like those guys, they left it out on the ice. They gave it their all. Marner, God love the kid. He always tries 110%, even if he looks upset. Right when he's on the ice again, he's trying his damnedest. He just doesn't have the goal scoring ability to score at will. Like, that's what he is as a player.
I bet there's something, I mean, typically it comes naturally with the shot and stuff, but he could definitely still work on it and try to improve.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. They didn't get many bounces. Columbus prevailed, and then Columbus goes on to face Tampa, which a lot of people, for some reason, think that it's a wash. People think that Tampa's just going to walk away with the series.
See, no, I don't think.
Columbus upset them last year with a sweep,
And they
lost a lot of their star power.
Yeah, I mean,
Didn't they have a
let's-
better record and more points with the team they have now than with all the star power they had last year?
well,
That's what I heard.
granted, the stars that they got, they picked up at the deadline, maybe.
Well, yeah.
But Columbus, I'm glad that Korpisalo got that save record. He made 85 saves and 5 overtimes. But, I mean, they weren't really difficult shots.
It was just put shots on net.
Yeah, it was 85 shots, and 10 of them, maybe 15, were of higher quality.
I mean, it is Tampa, so a lot more of those shots are going to be higher quality than...
Well, yeah, but I mean, Columbus is such a well-coached team, and they're such a defensively talented team. They keep them to the outside, so a lot of those shots, they're going for point shots and outside shots with guys in front and hoping to bang in the
for the
rebound.
tip.
Yeah, but there
Or
was
the tip, the
not
rebounds.
many one-and-dones.
No, there was so many second chance opportunities because as good as Columbus's defense was, they
were not showing it that game.
no,
Tampa's
it wasn't
offense
even that.
was
They played fantastic. It's their one fault, if they have one, is that they don't clear the rebounds that great, and they should, because Korpisalo's rebound control is not very good. That's the one thing that I noticed a lot. He gives up, even early in the game, he gives up a lot of rebounds off the pad into the middle of the ice, and his glove, occasionally he'll not catch the puck. Like, it'll go right into the pocket, and then he just doesn't shut it, and it bounces right back out. But yeah, there's a lot of rebounds, and I'm surprised that the game winner wasn't well, you could call it a rebound goal because there was a shot that went off of a Columbus player's face, and then immediately to Johnson, and then, Point, not Johnson, and then Point ripped it home. I mean, I don't know. I think Tampa can win it, but I also think if Columbus just gets a call, because, like...
Dude, they didn't get what they got.
Dude, it's
stiffed.
ridiculous what these refs are doing.
They're
Every
not
time...
you complain that they're not calling that they called everything before, and now they're not calling anything.
Well, they call the rule book in regulation. The moment that game goes to overtime, no matter what the series is right now, the whistle goes away.
I
And
feel
it's
like there's a
ridiculous.
They just let the
bias
players-
who they call. Like in the Bruins and Carolina game, the Bruins were getting a lot more calls, and it definitely looked like it was a little one-sided. Carolina's calls were kind of weak.
Yeah, there was a goal that Boston scored that should have been called back. And I want to bring up Rod Brindamore's comments. Let's see if I can find the full
Yeah, he
quote.
basically said that they gave him two choices.
Yeah, and it's like, I'm the coach. I'm not supposed to be choosing what the penalty is. And either choice meant it was no goal. And they still counted the goal. It was ridiculous. Let's see if we can find the quote here. All right. The guy comes to me, referring to the ref, and says it's either goalie interference because he has it and the guy knocked it out of his hand, or it's a glove hand pass. You got to pick one. Either way, it's no goal. What? You have to tell me what the call is. he's telling me to pick one. It's like, I'm the coach. I don't pick what the call is. You're the ref. Make the call.
It was definitely bad that he decided to choose the hand pass because I knew that was going to get overturned. Like, I knew that wasn't going to get overturned. Because in that case, if you're going to challenge for a hand pass, then it is a good goal. But the goalie did put his glove on it, and Nick Ritchie hits Mrazek's glove with his stick, and it pokes the puck out.
But he was out of the crease too, so it wouldn't be a goalie interference. He was out of his crease at that time.
There's
even still, you poke checking the
part of the rule is if he's not, he can be out of his crease, but like sometimes the way they call it is if he has to be out of his crease to challenge a shot, for example, or if like he's reacting to a cross seam pass, like he's entitled to that ice because that's where he needed to go to make the save. But like I don't know, because like at the same time, the guy to Mrazek's left, the Bruin to Mrazek's left, was in his way and wouldn't allow him to recover. Now, was Mrazek making that save? No. Like, there's no way he's getting back to that, but he was still in his way. So, it was a terrible call. I loved the...
we still gave up a shorty out of it anyways because...
But before passing. We get into that, Columbus put up a fight. Like I said, it went to 5 overtimes. They had to reschedule the Bruins game. And Seth Jones logged like
a full game,
like 62 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, he logged 60 minutes.
Was it 60 exact?
It was like a little over 60, but
60 and some change. Like this guy, people talk about the best defenders in the game, and the Yossi's name comes up, Hedman's name comes up. You almost never hear Seth Jones.
Yeah,
and I think it's ridiculous because he just showed he can play with the best of them. He's playing against Victor Hedman. And I mean, Seth Jones is not only the first defenseman back, he's the first forward up.
Yeah, I mean, he's got like the Drew Doughty curse, because the team that he plays for, they don't score a lot of goals. So in turn, he's not going to put up a lot of points. And the Norris is unfortunately decided by points rather than defensive play.
A little ridiculous, but that's a rant for another day.
Yeah, what are you going to do? But yeah, I don't know. I think Columbus has a good shot.
I think they played spectacular. They don't have that offensive star. I mean, Atkinson is a guy that can pot 20, 30 goals, but he needs someone that can feed it to him. Dubois is very good.
Need Mitch Marner.
Dubois is extremely good, but he's not like an offensive force.
Well, he's getting better every year, so we'll see.
He reminds me of like a Charlie Coyle. Like, he's super strong and he works super hard to get the puck. He just gets snake bitten on scoring.
Yeah,
he has such a hard time finding the back of the twine. And the only other really big, I guess, scoring offensive star would be Gustav Nyquist.
Yeah, I mean, it's an offense by committee.
Well, it's going to go to Game 7, I'm saying. Because
that's what I was thinking. But
I'm going to give it to Tampa.
I think Columbus can work.
Only because they have that star power that you're saying.
Yeah, it's tough, though, because...
A, they got a grudge, and B, they got the star power.
Yeah, it's tough, though.
Each had that same offensive star power.
Yeah, it's tough, though, because...
Yeah, but they weren't doing anything.
All it takes is Columbus's defense staying the way it is, and Columbus
just staying.
Well, yeah, but if Columbus actually transitions and gets some offense going, I mean, who knows? Like they could easily win this series in 5 if Tampa just makes a couple of mistakes and they hit them in transition.
Tampa's definitely, from what I watch from them, they're super good at maintaining puck possession, but they make so many mistakes in every other facet of the game.
Well, it was odd because Kucherov in that game to me was good, but
he wasn't Kucherov.
Yeah, 5 overtimes, and I noticed him making, 6 offensive plays.
So, they make a lot of mental mistakes, and I've noticed over the past couple years of just watching them, and yeah, they succeed. They play very well. But it's because of their offensive talent. I don't think there's much else other than the fact that they have this offensive talent and they bring in guys like Barclay Goodrow and Blake Coleman and Patrick Maroon who are going to work for the puck.
Yeah,
that way they can just cycle and keep possession.
They grinded that game. They learned how to grind at some point in this season or over the break. They just learned how to grind, and They're doing a fantastic job.
But that's the only thing I've noticed with them is like their puck possession is the best puck possession team in the league.
Well, look at who they got on the back end. They're stacked.
They are. They're really good. And other than that, like Vasilevsky, I think he's a good goalie. I do. But I think his defense helped him out.
Well, he doesn't even need to be fantastic.
He doesn't need to be.
No, because the defense just clears the puck out, and then the offense just
But
holds
they
it in
make,
the other
like
zone
I
for
said,
so long.
They make a lot of mental mistakes in their own zone.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way Tampa plays. You know, they're trying to get offense. I mean, they're just a better Toronto. It's what they are. They're
No,
just
that's the best way
Yeah.
to work.
yeah.
It really
they're
is.
better at doing what Toronto wants to do. They're
Because
just
they
way
have
better
the
at it.
defense to do it.
Yeah, and I mean, we can get into why, but the easiest reason is because Florida doesn't have any taxes, so players can make less money, take up less of the cap. I mean, you got Victor Hedman, Kevin Shattenkirk, Ryan McDonough. I mean, I don't even need to name any. And then they have
You got Point.
No, I'm talking about the defensemen.
Oh.
And-
Chernak's a young guy that came up and has been playing well.
You have is it Bogosian?
Zach Bogosian.
They have Bogosian. You have the Russian kid.
Mikhail Sergachev.
Yeah, he's fantastic. I mean, you're stacked on the back end.
And then offensively, I mean, Stamkos isn't even playing right now. But you have Stamkos, you have Nikita Kucherov, Braden Point.
Yeah.
You have a third-line center that was a Selke candidate.
Is that good? Is that enough?
Anthony Chiarelli. I mean, Andre Palat's on the team, Alex Killorn, Tyler Johnson.
And then they got a goaltender, too.
Andre Vasilevsky's a good goaltender. They don't need a backup.
Nope.
No.
Vasilevsky plays pretty much 82 games a
And
season.
they got two of them. They don't need a backup, and they got two of them. It's crazy. Like that.
Gotta love playing in a state without any taxes.
Oh my god, the Panthers have no excuse to be bad.
No.
Like if they had
They just can't pick the right people.
if they had good management and a good team,
Yeah.
like a good front office team. I mean, there's no excuse for being bad.
Well, it's the same thing with Dallas, too. They don't have much taxes, so they can go out and get those big players.
and they've utilized that. They're
Yeah.
a good team. And like the Panthers organization is like I want them to be successful because I want all eventually 32 teams to be successful. But the Panthers are a joke. I don't want to just suddenly rag on them, but like I mean,
At least
come
they
on.
made a playoff
You
push.
have one of the best two-way forwards in the game right now, Alexander Barkov. At his prime.
Yeah,
And
he needs help.
the only thing
they did have help. They had Vinny Throcek, and then they traded him for. I mean, I don't know what the trade was, but it wasn't equal comp.
No, it was like prospects. Actually, no, I think it was like 2 roster players that were like bottom 6 players, and then like a prospect.
And it doesn't help that everybody's left
And a pick.
too.
I think maybe a pick, too. But Huberdeau is really good as well. Him and Barkov are like the only talent they have on that team.
Talking up the Throcek
Oh, they brought in
trade.
Bobrovsky, but
Yeah.
that didn't work out very well. He had
No.
a Bobrovsky year this year.
Well, he's every other year.
And I know.
So let's see how he goes next year.
Next
And
year,
if you can bring in the
next year we'll have
talent,
a great
then
year.
and that's when
The-
everybody else plays like crap.
Trade was Eric Howla, Lucas Walmark, and prospects Chase Prisky and E2 Lovstarnen. There we go.
Luosterainen, I think.
I don't know.
Something like that. But Prisky's he's actually a good prospect.
Never heard of him.
I remember when he was drafted. He's actually a good prospect.
Yeah,
He's,
but can they develop him?
He's a defenseman.
That's the
Yeah,
question.
yeah,
He's a
so-
good prospect. Can you develop him?
always the question.
Luosterainen's all right. He's not like a big name prospect. He's the best.
Neither one of them are big name guys. I mean, Throcek's not a big name guy himself either, so I'm not saying he should have,
Yeah, but
gotten
Trocheck
that.
is a second line center on
Yeah.
an all right team.
Yeah, I mean, he's a top 6 guy. I mean, you should get something. And Eric Howla and a couple of no-name prospects who might become
No,
something.
Walmart
but
isn't even a prospect. He's just a bottom 6 forward.
yeah, I don't know. They have no excuse to be bad. I don't want to just sound like against the Panthers because that's not what we wanted to talk about today.
No.
But
They did make that trade with Carolina, and Carolina played Boston.
yeah,
11 a.m. in that rescheduled
there it is. Look at the transition game on this guy.
His 11 a.m.
Looking like the Blue Jackets.
rescheduled game. I was upset because I wanted to watch hockey.
The night before.
when
night
the game was
before,
scheduled.
when
It's
it
kind
was
of
And
the
then
idea.
I don't want to be playing back to back with the players that we got.
It doesn't matter. I mean, woke up, watched the game, wicked good game.
Fantastic.
It
Other
was
than the reffing.
Amazing. Other than the
Yeah.
reffing, it was a super good game. And
High school
prior
game.
to Dylan's thoughts before, thinking they weren't going to be ready and, given all these criticisms, like I told you, they were saving their
I'm
energy and
telling
they
you,
came in
I
with
am a fan.
they came in with a purpose.
But I will not give them all the way to the cup. I said conference finals.
But that's
But I
not what
won't
we're
give-
talking about.
I know that.
You were asking if they were going to be ready, and you were saying you didn't think they were going
Tell
to be
me
ready.
how many times you can sit there and say an older team can just come out of the box and be ready to play after playing like shit.
And I told you they were conserving their energy. It was the smart thing to do. And what happened? Everything I said was right. They came in and they played fantastic.
Other
Guy's
than
taking a
Chara.
page out of my book. Love to see it.
Other than Chara.
Well, it's fucking Chara. He hasn't played good since like 2013.
Yeah, but I mean, he's, 43?
And honestly,
Right? 43?
yeah, it's something like that.
42 or
I
43?
think he's 44.
Really?
No, I think he's 42.
Or he's going to be 44.
Well, Google, what do you think? What do you got for
He
me?
honestly wasn't even that bad. My main problem.
Done passing?
43. Look at that. Bang. GG's.
No, my main problem was Nick Ritchie.
Yeah, well,
That guy should not be on the ice.
He's always your problem.
Yes.
if Richie's not even on the ice, it's Richie's fault for staring
No,
the wrong way.
those
Yeah, I
two
know.
goals were completely his fault.
No. I watched the one from
Staring at the guy coming in. He's
Buddy.
staring at him.
the one from the point when he was on the ice and Richie was in the slot. It's not his fault. He wasn't even the guy screening Rask. The defenseman in front and the Hurricane were the people screening Rask. It was not Richie.
The Joel Edmondson one?
Whichever one was from the point.
There was two. There was
Were they both from the point? Okay.
Joel Edmondson, the first goal was Carolina coming in on transition. And the
Wasn't that
Bruins-
one. It was the other one.
Okay, I'm talking about this one. The
This
Bruins
one,
defense
the-
is literally...
Richie in defense didn't do anything. Everybody just stared at the guy in the corner.
No, everybody's moving around. So what Carolina's doing is they're doing that Tampa touch pass shit where they give it to someone, then someone else comes into the zone, they give it to them, and then another
Yep.
person comes in. Well, Boston's playing man-to-man, and they're all moving around. Nick Ritchie's standing in the slot, staring straight ahead. Joel Edmondson comes in with his stick raised. Ritchie's looking right at him. Joel Edmondson rips a one-timer. Nick Ritchie just watches it go by.
I mean, it's like the Leafs being an 8th seed and getting knocked out by a 9th seed. Richie's a bad player. You can't be mad at him for doing bad player things. I mean, come on.
Like I said,
I
they
can be
got him
frustrated-
for the body. They
I
didn't
can be
get him.
frustrated with the fact that he played like 13, 14 minutes. Anders Bjork played 11. And Anders Bjork actually played well.
How much you want to bet he's going to bring up Heinen out of this too?
Well,
You just mentioned him, so now I will.
Yeah.
there it is. I mean, the trade was bad. It was a bad trade. You don't hit on all of your trades. Sometimes you miss.
No, I understand that. But like trading they literally only traded Heinen because him and Bruce didn't get along.
And salary cap dump.
You
Yeah,
seem
but I
like a
mean,
mill. Nice
the
job.
the Bruins aren't really in cap trouble.
They're not.
I mean, unless they're dead set on
They're
retaining
doing it
Krug.
to be able to try to get a bigger name in this offseason, which they weren't expecting that the cap wasn't going to go up because of COVID.
Yeah, I mean,
It
again,
stayed
that's
flat. But
That's something else, but
yeah.
even still, like you brought in a guy that has term as well, and he's just not good. So I wouldn't mind if they just traded him. I don't care what you get in return, if it's a 7th round pick or if it's future considerations. I don't care if you pay somebody money to take him. There's no point in having him. You want to use someone for their body. You have Trent Frederick. He's also 6'2". He's also more talented and younger than Nick Ritchie. There's so many other people that you can use over him. So using him for his body is just a useless excuse.
they're using him to have the team be more aggressive a little
And
bit.
he doesn't do anything. He just chirps. He doesn't throw his body, and if he does, it's a fucking weak excuse for a body check. And he doesn't fight.
Yeah, I mean, he's like the Frederick Gauthier argument. I mean, like, what are you doing here? What do you bring to the table?
Absolutely nothing.
And
Absolutely fucking nothing.
It's like, okay, so you bring in body checking and body checking. Okay. Now, are you good at that? Well, I'm all right. Okay, well, can you skate to the person so you can hit them in a tight window? Well, no. It's like, all right, well, then what are you doing here? He's a bad player who's going to do bad player things.
Like, I understand the whole trade. Really, it was like I said, Heinen and Cassidy didn't get along.
That's on Cassidy. He's the coach. You got to figure it out, buddy.
They didn't get along because Heinen, who isn't known for being a skilled player, wasn't finishing opportunities. He wasn't scoring. It's like, okay, one, he's a third line, two-way forward. Two, he's not a skilled player. He never claimed to be.
How many goals did he bag in the last full season that was played?
He had like a 50-point season. I think he had like 20-something goals.
It's a good season. If you're right, that's a good season.
I think he had like 47 points, if I'm correct, and I think it was like 20 goals.
Hockey DB, what do you got? Stanton Heinen? Bless you.
Thank you.
Bless you again.
Thank you.
You only get 2.
18-19, he had 11 goals, 23 assists, 34 points in 77 games.
Then what was the game, the season before? I know he had 40...
16, 31, 47.
Okay.
And the same amount of games somehow. So he got hurt for 5 games in 2 seasons in a row. That's hilarious.
Well, they just
No,
didn't
he
play
was a
him.
healthy scratch.
He was a healthy scratch.
Oh, okay. And then this season, he took he probably would have done the same. 10 goals in mass here, 26 points. So, I mean...
He would have been around the 30s.
Yeah, his points
40s.
probably would have gone down, but his goals would have gone up.
I do know that he had 4 points in 9 games with Anaheim.
Yeah, that's not
which was
bad.
a far better pace than what he was doing
He's
here.
probably getting more ice time.
He was.
Yeah, because who else are you going to throw out there?
Yeah, the Ducks are working on developing their talent still.
So
which
for
is
them,
good
that
that
was a
they're being
really good
patient.
trade.
Yeah.
They got a solid young player that can log minutes and can kill penalties.
Yeah, I mean, he's a Boston forward.
It was
He's a Boston depth forward. He's not going to shock you, but he's probably going to bring in some decent defensive play and
He'll
kill
pot a goal
penalties.
here and there.
Yeah, and he's a Boston depth guy because Boston doesn't develop high-end forwards.
So
That's
that
not what
trade
they
was
do.
literally just 2 people not doing good that needed a change of scenery, and it worked out for Anaheim. Nick Ritchie still needs a change of scenery. That change of scenery is a different league. That's what that change of scenery is.
Hey, he could probably go to Columbus, and for some
be
reason,
fine there.
yeah,
He'd
he'd
be
be
fine in
fantastic.
Columbus.
Torch will whip him into shape, and he'd be fine.
But, I mean, there's just so much other people you could throw in and get more effect out of. He doesn't help out the Coyle-Bjork line at all. Coyle and Bjork do all the work, and Nick Ritchie just kind of stands there and fucking sucks his thumb. Because by the time he catches up to the play, he's already winded, so he has to fucking sit there, breathe a little bit, and then the play's going the other way. He's like, oh man, I have to skate all the way back over there.
I don't know. I mean, Boston's lack of depth is probably why they're not going to go deep.
Honestly, that's why we won the game.
Yeah,
Well,
it's-
The boner line scored twice.
You mean
Well,
the second line?
But
the reason you won the
the
game.
second line was incredible.
Yes, I will say the second line looked a lot better.
Kasha looked amazing.
Krejci looked amazing to me too.
Because he had wingers next to him. They're actually doing things.
That's a wonder.
Kasha looked fucking
Imagine.
incredible.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Can you imagine? When you
Kasha
get
was
support, you play well. Hey, what are the odds?
Kasha was skating. Have you seen that guy skate? He skates so fast, but he skates so weird. Like he leans
Yeah.
over and like pushes himself into.
I think
like,
that
skating.
didn't he fall a lot too because the way he does that.
He does fall a lot, but it's like you know how when like Evan, our buddy Evan, when he runs, he like pushes off at first. To
Well, he's not skating with. It's funny because the better skaters, you'll notice that they're trying less hard, if that makes sense, when they skate. The less effort you put into your skating in terms of power, for some reason, I don't know how physics works, especially with skating, but that translates into just being able to pick up speed quicker. So he's probably not good at that, so he's
picks
going
up-
for power.
Yeah, he can pick up the speed. He reminds me of the kid from the Mighty Ducks that can only skate really fast, but he doesn't know how to stop.
The boards will catch me sooner or later.
It's pretty fun, but he looked really good. He skates fast. He will shoot from literally anywhere, and he was making nice plays.
Dude, side note, but along the lines of speed, I wonder who surprised me with their speed? Alex Tuck on Vegas. Guy's like 6'4", probably 2-something, and he's got wheels.
Wheel, yeah.
He has wheels.
It's like Dustin Bufflin. You wouldn't expect that guy to be able to move.
Yeah, like I don't watch a ton of NHL hockey during the regular season in general because I got other things to watch. I got other hockey to watch. But and then, I watch Vegas less than that. So I didn't know that Tuck could wheel like that. That was crazy.
No, he's super good. He's somebody that I put into a lot of my sports bets because he does really good.
Because he got speed.
Well, it's always funny just to watch, especially the way they do the expansion draft now. Like it'll be fun to watch what no-name guy goes to Seattle and then turns into a regular top 6 forward.
William Karlsson.
I have a question on that, though. I know it's off subject. Why does Vegas not get any players taken away, though?
Because they just got a team.
They've been in the league for a good amount of years.
It's
like
2-3 years.
Yeah, it's not enough time
to really build anything.
Yeah, they need time to build up their AHL system because you got to remember they're just getting their AHL team, so they don't even they needed a few drafts just to build up enough prospects to have regular prospects in their minor league system because before they were sharing a roster with the Chicago Wolves AHL team. Who are they? They're not
St. Louis.
Yeah, they're St. Louis's team.
St. Louis's.
Yeah, so they were sharing with them, and now they're finally getting their own team. The what are they, the Silver Knights?
Yeah. Like that.
Gotta love it.
Go from silver to gold. Let's go.
Well, and then their logo's the horse, so they got the knight on top and then the horse on bottom. I love it. But yeah, so now they have finally minor league system. They don't want to take away from that. Because Seattle would want the same thing. You know what I mean? So, and there's 30 other teams that can.
Yeah, but it's affecting every other team except them, and they already are a playoff team.
Does it really matter? Because there's 31 teams right now. You need 25 people to have a complete roster. You can literally fill out your entire roster with the 30 people.
Yeah, that's enough.
That one extra person really doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
Especially when you know it's not going to be somebody as good as on the 30 other teams.
Yeah. Who have this, established system, who have potential guys that aren't going to crack the lineup. Because if Vegas has an NHL level guy, he's going to play. But then you have guys on other organizations that are just so deep. Like if you want to look at Toronto's forwards, they have guys that can play NHL hockey who don't get a shot because there's not enough room. So Vegas doesn't have that luxury yet. So they're trying to build that up.
So that's going to be the crappy part when the Bruins come along is, do you protect DeBrusk? Do you protect Bjork?
Bjork, because you just put an extension on him.
Well, you're just going to be putting an extension on DeBrusk pretty soon. Right? So.
Yeah. And now you have more money to work with because you're not sure if Krug's going to stay. And at this point, if he does stay, he's going to have to take a discount because of the flat cap.
Yeah, I mean, who are you protecting on the back end? You're protecting McAvoy. If Krug stays, him probably, I'd imagine.
Do you protect Carlo?
Well, it depends because you automatically have to protect Chara. He has a no-move clause.
If he hasn't retired by then.
If he's playing.
If he hasn't retired in a year.
Yeah.
You have Marchand with a no-move.
Well, honestly, Chara could just waive it and,
he could.
Boston throws Seattle a third just to make sure they don't take him. I mean, I don't think Seattle would. Why would they want a guy that's going to retire in a year?
It's no use to pick up an older guy like that.
It's a bad pick.
You're looking for a future, not right now, right when you come out of the...
If I'm Boston, obviously Pasternak. Marchand has a no-move, so...
Auto-protect.
Bergeron has a no-move, I think. Krejci has a no-trade.
Yeah, so he can still go unprotected.
So I would unprotect Krejci, I'm not going to lie to you. I'd rather have the first line protected. I'd rather have McAvoy and Carlo protected. And for the goalie,
Krejci's still an iffy one, too, because he is in the older age, too. So
That's
you
actually,
might be,
Krejci's not a bad pick. He still has some hockey.
and that's a
left.
lot of salary cap coming your way too.
Yeah, but you need to hit a cap floor.
Yeah. Cause it's funny because, you think about, you got to hit the cap floor, and then you look at Vegas, they're up against the cap. Like, they're struggling to make the dollars work because,
They took on too many bad contracts.
well, it's
But
funny
it was
because they
in order
took
to
on,
get picks.
they took on so many bad contracts, and then, like, all these players are actually, like, working out. It's like, oh, okay. And then they added, they brought in, Stone, they brought in
And they gave
Patches.
him a bunch of fucking money.
Yeah, like way too much money. But hey, I mean, they're paying that money for defense on offense. It's the way they play their game.
You have
And
Shea
you're always
Theodore.
like picking up so many goalies.
Yeah, you got Flower, then you bring in Lehner, who's getting the nod right now. So he might stay in Vegas. Who knows?
I think that's what they're doing is they're testing out
'Cause,
Lehner right now.
Yeah, to see
Yeah.
if they really need to keep.
Because I really do think that a team needs to commit to him. He's a bona fide starting goalie.
yeah,
And Flower he still has starting potential in him, but
but he's still really
for how
good goalie.
much longer?
Yeah, I mean, Lehner already said that he's not signing a short term deal. Like he's done moving. Like I think he's got a wife. I'm pretty sure, or at least a committed girlfriend. I know he's got a partner, but he's looking for something long term. He's not looking to keep moving around. Like his career is already revived. He's already in a good place mentally. He wants to commit somewhere and end his career somewhere. And it sucks that his contract is expiring now. Because if it expired a year from now, just go to Seattle. And there you go. They got their starter.
What you could do is just be like, listen, it's flat cap. I'll take a 1 year, say like $4 or $5 million
but
deal
he already
again.
said he doesn't want to do that short.
Well, no, because it's a flat cap. You could say, listen, I'll take the 1 year, and then next year, because we'll start being back on the up. That's when I'll sign my extension, and we can talk
Or
about
he
it.
just signs a deal at length with a team who already has a start, like staying to Vegas or something, and then they just expose him and he goes to Seattle. And that's the plan that he has with the team. Or they expose the other goalie and he stays there. Whichever.
Which, honestly, with being a UFA, he could sign with just a crappier team and hope that they build around him. So, like Detroit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He's got options. He got a lot of options. That's the great thing about being a starting goalie. They got options.
Super interested to see where he goes.
Yeah, I love him. Great guy.
He's one of my favorite goalies. Yeah, well, once Lundqvist retires, he will be my favorite goalie in the league.
There's so many good goalies
So
now.
you mean 1 more year?
Pretty much. It's sad, man. Guy deserves a cup.
4 more years. 4 more years.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't.
Hey,
at this point,
if you're desperate, you just sign him for a backup to try to get him a cup.
at this point, if I was Lundqvist,
Because he's kind of like Fitzpatrick. Not Fitzpatrick, Fitzgerald in the NFL. Nobody really hates him.
Yeah, it's just...
It's a player that...
Nah, I mean, I don't know. He loves New York so much. And
Go to Islanders.
Well, yeah, but it's like the Brodeur thing. Like, his career is always going to be slightly tainted because he left and went to St. Louis for a couple months. It's like, come on, man. Like he should have just stayed.
A lot of
You know.
people do that just to get a ring.
I mean, but
though.
if he really wants a cup that bad, and I
No,
want
bro,
to see
like,
him win a cup,
no, like with Brodeur, it's like, dude,
It's like Bjork. He left.
you got your cups already. What else do you need? Yeah, I don't know.
yeah, but at least with Brodeur, he had cups. Lundqvist doesn't.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Dude, you know what I love about that Brodeur thing, though, going to St. Louis? He went to St. Louis, which prevented Binnington from getting called up at the time. And then Brodeur retired and became an executive for the Blues and told Binnington that, hey, we're sending you down to the East Coast League to go develop more. And Binnington said no. It's like, dude, the balls in this guy.
Yeah,
love Binnington.
I kept you from a starting job, and I'm going to keep you down there even more.
Yeah, so he denied getting sent down, so they loaned him to Providence.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the funny part. That's how he ended up playing in Providence. Because
Yeah.
St. Louis didn't really have that minor league team. They were sharing it with Vegas, so they loaned him to Providence because they already had goalies playing, and Providence doesn't have goalies because Boston has like zero goalie depth.
Because they,
until
well,
right
now they do.
Well, no,
but
they have depth. There's one of them's playing in college. You know.
They have the spot in the room
No,
to
they
be able
didn't
to say,
have
here,
that
play.
kid at that point.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And Kaiser is playing in the East Coast League. So they
Yeah.
had Vladar.
Well, he's not even playing in the East Coast League. He's on the bench. Guy's in a tough spot, but he's a goalie. He can battle. He can work his way back up. Goalie's
So, yeah,
always on time.
Bennington was playing there, and that's actually when I first heard about him and heard how good he was.
Yeah. And the kid's got ice in his veins.
Imagine getting the goalie that you lose to be that talent. That's gotta suck.
Imagine having that talent pool.
It's not like he was going to get called up to play for the Bruins. You know what I mean?
No,
he
it's
physically
like
can't. He
I
physically
know.
can't because it's not your prospect; it's someone else's.
Yeah, I mean, what are you going to do? You
Take
can't
a lot.
predict that stuff. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
I know, but it's like you got him to how he is. That kind of sucks. That he beat you because you got him to where he is now.
Not really.
And
He just went and played
Bennington
there
would have
for
became an
good
NHL goalie
regardless.
regardless. He's got that mindset.
But
I mean, he
he went to a team that's good with developing goalies.
Yeah, but at the same time, he's willing to stare Martin Brodeur in the eyes and tell him, no, I'm not going to the East Coast League.
one of
Like,
the
all right,
best
this,
goalies of
well,
all
yeah.
time.
this kid's either full of himself or he's right about himself. There's two options. I know it was the latter of the two.
Speaking of goalies, you see what Eddie Lack posted on Twitter?
I did not.
He because Carter Hart and Carey Price are playing each other, and
Yep.
Carey Price is Carter Hart's idol.
Well, I mean,
So
he's everybody's idol.
Carey Price.
If you're a goalie,
So
Yeah.
what was going on is they were sitting next to each other. It's just a little clip of them doing that little thing that goalies do, where they skate back and forth,
Yeah.
and while they're talking to each other. And Eddie Lack who's a former NHL goalie. I should probably say that.
Yeah, for people that don't know.
He puts out, Carter Hart is the greatest goalie I've ever seen in my life since Carey Price.
Yeah, I mean, Hart's got a lot of talent, man.
Isn't his contract coming up too?
Hart?
I don't know. No idea.
He
But
came up last season. That's when he got called up.
I don't know. But
This is his second year, so next year would be
oh yeah.
That's what I was saying.
Well,
his deal.
yeah, but Hart's got a great opportunity here to, just be close to Price constantly and be able to learn from him. Because Hart's a young goalie. He's got room to grow still. Every goalie honestly has room to grow. They're always working on something.
Until you reach 37, then you can only regress.
But they have that mindset because they don't want to lose their starting job. You know, they're always
Luongo
working.
did well.
Yeah, Luongo was always working, and then until he was like, "All right, I'm sick of spending 3 hours just to warm up for a game. I'm going to retire
Guy was
now."
probably walking out after a game on crutches.
Yeah, So Hart's got a great opportunity to learn from Price and talk to him before the game and after the game and everything like that. And
Since we're talking about Philly in this situation, he's literally exactly what they needed.
Yeah,
they were a goalie away from being a good
they
team.
were a goalie away for years, and now they've and I got nervous for Hart because they rushed him in. Well, turns out they didn't rush him; he was ready. But
But
put
it looked
this,
like he got rushed in
to
a bad position.
Yeah, they put this early 20s goaltender in net, and it's like, is he going to sink or swim? And he's Michael
He
Phelps
floated.
right
He's
now.
walking on water.
Yeah, he's Michael Phelps. He's buzzing.
This guy's not just swimming; he's lapping. Okay,
Yeah.
this guy's moving.
But that was a risky bet. You're throwing in a young goalie, especially when he wasn't.
That series is
He
going to
was
be
a young
interesting.
goalie that wasn't playing hot. He wasn't Bennington. You had to give him the job. He
But
was playing
at the
too
same
good.
Time, Bennington was 23, 24.
Yeah, but he's still young for a goalie.
No, he is. But Carter Hart came in, and this kid's fresh
Young.
off 19.
Yeah,
He's still.
And that's going to
This
be a
guy
good
can't even
goalie
drink
series
yet.
right there with Price and Hart.
what already has been.
Well, it already has been. That
No,
was a
that game.
beautiful
2-1
game.
game.
I think that was honestly the best game that I watched all day.
Hart
and that's,
stood on his head.
I'm a Bruins fan. I
Yeah.
watched a really good Bruins game.
And the only reason Hart couldn't save that one goal was because he was just getting collapsed by everybody else. And
Well,
it was just sliding out.
Unfortunately, I didn't get to watch the game. I was on a Zoom call for my my scouting mentorship program thing. But I was looking at my phone on occasion just to get the goal update.
It was just beautiful.
and then I saw the price thing afterwards, and I was like, "Holy cow!"
Super.
But that's what you look for. In
That's
a goalie.
how you know
look,
Price is back to what he is.
Yeah,
Is doing that.
you look
That's what makes
for-
me afraid to play Montreal if we ever get there.
You look for a goalie that doesn't quit on a puck.
That's
And-
why Dominic Hasek was my favorite.
Yeah, he never quit on a puck. Never.
Dominic Hasek, same thing with Tim Thomas, could be literally 20, 30 feet out of position and find a way to make a save.
Yeah. You look for that compete level in a goaltender on top of the technical things, but yeah, Price is just. I'm so glad that he's back. Yeah, he kept getting bad luck with the injuries, and hopefully they find him a backup goalie so they don't play him a Vasilevsky amount of the only reason Vasi can play those games is because
he's young.
No, it's not even that he's young. It's just like, all right, I'm facing 20 pucks a night and 5 of them are good. Okay, I can play 70 games, no problem. You know, that was the thing with when Brodeur was playing. Yeah, he played 75 games or whatever, but
he had literally
wasn't
one of the
facing
best
a lot.
defenses.
Yeah, he wasn't facing a lot of high quality shots, so it wasn't that big of a
I
deal.
hate Montreal, but I have full respect for Price.
Oh my
I
god!
will say that.
Honestly,
I love him.
There's no reason to hate him.
No, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
like I've said, I'm a diehard Bruins fan. I hate Montreal. I found myself cheering for them. I have
that's how I'm
so
going.
much.
It's like-
I have so much respect for Price, and honestly, if there's one thing I want to see before he retires, it's actually see a memorable series between him and Boston.
See, now the thing...
I want to see a Boston-Montreal series. So
I want to see the guy win.
Yeah. The thing is, Montreal isn't what they used to be when we did really hate them when we were younger. They don't have anybody other than Price that was on that team.
Well, now
And it's like, they don't play
Brendan
cheap and
Gallagher.
dirty. They don't play cheap and dirty anymore and just
And
chirp.
they have Dale Weiss.
Yeah.
He's literally the embodiment of that. That he played on that team back then. He
I know,
found his
I'm
way
just
back
saying.
there now.
yeah, well now Montreal's
chirp.
Montreal's
They're
got a
adding lot more
good
skill.
yeah, they've got a good thing going. They got a lot of young guys, and they have more young guys, coming up in a few years. And I think the
will
one
Claude play him, because Claude doesn't like...
no,
young talent.
He's good with it.
he's adapting though because Marc
He needs to know that he
Bergevin
needs
is
to
not
play.
giving him anything else. He said, "Look, Claude, I'm not going to go get you a 32-year-old center.
They did
I'm not
that
gonna."
for 1 year, so that way they could just basically
have him...
develop some of the guys that just weren't that were on the cusp.
Yeah,
So they got a bunch of third, fourth line guys. And then
yeah. They tried it once and all right, this isn't going to work. So now they're going with that development model.
They're
and
full
they're
committing to Drouin and Domi. Gallagher's still
Suzuki.
relatively young. Suzuki, Kotkaniemi. They're still
Yep.
trying to work with him. Cale Fleury
Yep.
on the back end. They have another young defenseman too that they just signed. Romanov. They just signed him, and he just signed an ELC, so he'll definitely get reps.
Yeah, the two things that they just need to draft and just focus on developing, because other than Shea Weber, they are lacking on the defensive end a little bit, not a lot,
It's
because you have
basically
Price.
him and Petrie that are doing most of the
So
work.
as long as they keep developing talent, they'll be fine. And then if they find a bona fide number one center, they got a good shot, especially when Price is on his game, which he is right now.
Oh shit! I forgot Victor Mete too.
Right?
Good puck moving defenseman.
Yeah, they play their game pretty well.
They could use a goalie. Who knows how Michael McNiven's going to turn out?
Yeah, I mean it's great that they're not where Montreal used to be when Price was on his game, where it was Price, Subban, and Patches, and then
what else you got?
yeah, it was just their band of merry men just
It
skating
works for
around.
them. They got somewhere.
Well,
But,
Because, I mean,
Price
they
brought them
always-
somewhere.
well, yeah.
and
They
then
always
he
have
got
Brendan
hurt.
Gallagher, and he's like a right-handed Marchand.
Without the talent.
Not as talented as
Yeah,
Marchand.
he's not Marchand.
But-
Marchand is one of those guys where, yeah, he plays on that line, sometimes crosses it, but he backs it up with his skills too. He doesn't have to do that.
Well, he doesn't
lineup.
play good when he doesn't do that. If
Well,
you notice, he's
no.
not.
Yeah,
he doesn't
he's
perform.
He's had two, what's this, the second straight, tame
Yeah,
year?
he's had 2 straight clean years, and he's been playing.
Well, he still plays aggressive, is what I'm saying. When he doesn't play aggressive,
he
doesn't
plays
perform.
aggressive, but I mean, he's had 2
he
years.
hasn't licked a person yet.
He's had
so.
2 years of not crossing the line. He's learned how to walk on it, and he's realized it's hey, I don't have to do that. I can just put up 95 points every year, and that'll do just fine. He finally figured that out. It took him a while,
then
but
you have Tom Wilson, who set the line. He's making new lines. lines. he's the guy in the sand where you're like, okay, this line right here, don't cross it. He crosses it,
over,
walks 10 miles past it, and then makes another line. And he goes,
This is the line.
No, this is the new line.
I don't hate players often. It's very sparing that I just hate a player. He shouldn't be in the league. Like
with him, okay, so
it pisses me off because he has talent to where he doesn't need to do these. He was like how Marchand used to be. Mm-hmm. He has talent to where he doesn't need to do these things, yet he does them.
The thing I see is like
he can.
A lot of headshots.
He gets away with it.
A lot of headshots that you see in the league, they don't look necessarily intentional. There are a lot that go by where it's like, okay, that it definitely looks like he was lining up the shoulders and he just followed through high. It was a scummy thing to do.
He miscalculated
The hit. But Tom Wilson, when he throws a hit, it's a legitimate, like he's trying to headshot you.
Yeah.
Like when he headshots you, it's on purpose. And that's one of the things that I hate about him. Like he's a power.
It's the only thing to hate.
He's a big power forward who actually has skill and he can skate. This guy can do it all. He's a prototypical power forward and he's throwing dirty hits. You're big enough and tough enough to not have to do that.
It's disgusting. It's honestly disgusting what he does. And if I was the head of the player safety, I would grow a pair and actually do my job. Because they've only done their job with him once. And then it got appealed and reduced by like 6 games. It was a 20 game to like the 14 or 15, something like that. I can't remember what it was. But it was for another headshot. Shocker. And they gave him 20 games. And then he appealed it, obviously, because a scumbag. And then it got reduced, which it shouldn't have. It was the right punishment because he has a history of doing these things.
Which is one of the things that I do respect about Marchand is when he did something dirty, he never appealed it.
He knows he
fucked
did,
up,
yeah.
And he accepted that.
Yeah, and the next, like, I wish
which he's never
I was the head of player safety. I wish, because I would actually do my job. Because there should be a precedent for what a headshot is. First time you do a headshot, if there's any lick of intent, 15 games. See you later. I don't care. Don't do it. If you do it again, 40. Gone. See you later. If you do it again, out of the league. I don't care. 2 years, you're gone. Don't care. Don't do it.
Which is why I like Goodell and what he does, because he makes small things even bigger, so the bigger things, you're out. Like, Garrett is this close. Like, one hit to being out of the league. He was almost out of the league with one helmet hit.
Yeah, just don't do it. It's a pretty simple logic. Just don't do the thing, and you won't get punished.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, it's like, why would you do that stupid shit? I mean, like, everybody's
because he's getting away with it.
At the end of the day, you guys are all there to play the sport that you love. It's your job. You're doing what you love, and you're just trying to have fun and win. There's no need to go and try to end someone else's career or ruin their life.
The thing that I get a kick out of in hockey nowadays is the guys that do that, and there's 3 that really are known for it, Wilson, Marchand, and Kadri. They don't have to be in the lineup. They have everything else to play, and yet they still do these things.
Now, at least Marchand's backing down with it. I haven't heard or seen Kadri really do it since he left
since
Toronto.
he went to the Western Conference.
Because he doesn't have to worry about Boston.
But we'll see. Once he builds up, I don't know how long he'll be in Colorado, but if he's there long term, there's going to be rivalries, and if he builds up that hatred, we'll see. He might start doing it again. We don't know.
He might be looking for bodies, but
yeah, and it's
Wilson's just out there to just kill anybody.
Yeah, there was
doesn't matter what team he plays for.
There's a guy that used to be in the league like years ago when we were younger teenagers. I can't remember his name.
Matt Cook.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know his fucking name.
Like,
I fucking hate that.
That's what he had to do to play. And it's like, okay, well, if that's what you have to do to play,
don't play.
Don't play. Because you shouldn't be here. You can go over, because like every guy that makes the league has talent. They can play.
He had no talent.
Compared to other guys, he might be terrible, but he does have some talent.
No, Matt Cook had no
Hang
talent.
on. He could just as easily go over to Europe, make a solid living, and the quality there isn't as high, so he can probably actually play hockey instead of what he did. You know, that's what a lot of guys do. Like, if they don't have the talent to compete here, they have the talent to compete elsewhere.
He was a scumbag. Matt Cook, for people that don't know, or people that are just getting into hockey, he played in the early to mid 2000s.
Yeah, I bet you there was a time in Matt Cook's career where he was like a very good player on his team.
He was known for throwing dirty hits. He ended Marc Savard's career. He legitimately ended Marc Savard's career.
This proves my point. Every player at some point was good. When he was in the OHL, he had a year where he put up 95 points in 65 games. He had a point in his career where he was good, and he had 146 penalty minutes, which isn't a lot, but you know it's a decent amount, especially for late 90s, which is when he was in junior. And then he just got to the NHL level, and he couldn't compete.
I know this is changing sports, but we do have a breaking news.
Is it an important breaking news?
It's Kelsey.
Okay, so it's not baseball. Cool.
No,
what is it?
It's Travis Kelsey, and the Chiefs have agreed to a 4-year extension. So he's now on the team for 6 years.
Oh, nice.
So that's another tight end extension.
There you go.
But yeah, Matt Cook.
Just wanted to throw that.
He's the biggest thing is he's known for ending Marc Savard's career when Marc Savard was in Boston,
among other things.
He threw more headshots than Tom Wilson.
Yeah. Now, we were young then, so my memory is already like kind of hazy at that point in my life. But even it's more so in hockey. Did he get like banned from the league? Is that how he ended, or did he just get phased out?
He got phased out.
Okay.
I was extremely happy. Now, Evander Kane also has been kind of a scumbag. I mean,
he's tamed it down.
But he's tamed it down. When Evander Kane was young, he was playing with, I think they were still the Thrashers at this point.
Yep.
Matt Cook was fucking with them. And Evander Kane, I think he was a rookie. He turned around and went, okay, let's go. They dropped the gloves, and as soon as they dropped them, one punch to Matt Cook's jaw, and he knocked the guy out. I love it.
I want to see that fight now.
That's one of my favorite videos. Like, I don't really condone fighting, but that guy really deserved to get knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, I mean, that's,
And that's how you stop that bullshit. That's how you stop it. You punch him in the fucking mouth.
Unfortunately. Well, there's two ways of stopping it. Either you do that, or you don't let him play.
Yeah.
Because he's not going to throw,
don't be in the league.
He's not going to throw more dirty hits if he's knocked clean the fuck out.
Yeah. And I bet you he had a pretty tame game after that.
I bet you he didn't fuck with Evander Kane after that, or the rest of the team, because he knew Kane would have went right back at him.
No, it's like, thankfully the game's not there. Like, it's not that anymore.
It's not like that anymore.
It's actual hockey.
It's a lot more hockey and talent, but there still is people that play dirty. Like Kadri, he's known, he has a reputation.
Plays on the line.
Wilson, obviously. I mean, Wilson is the line. Gallagher doesn't really get suspended. He doesn't do too much dirty stuff, but he toes the line for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to look at, like, Columbus, Foligno plays on that line.
Yeah, Nick Foligno definitely plays
I mean,
on
like,
that
there's
line.
guys that play on the line. I mean, like, some guys have to.
David Backes has always really played on that line, but he's done good enough to... I think he's only had 1 or 2 suspensions, and they were with Boston.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad the game's going in that direction, and eventually people like Tom Wilson will either just use their talent, which Wilson has. If he just used his talent, I wouldn't hate the guy. It's like, dude, quit hitting people in the goddamn head. Because he almost ended that Blues career in a preseason game.
Yep.
Which is what he got 20 games for. It's like, dude, what are you doing?
Preseason game.
Preseason game, young kid trying to make the team, and he hits him in the head. And he's out for months. Because of course he is.
This was a kid that was actually supposed to come up and play on the roster.
He was supposed to make the team.
Which he did end up making it, but it stunted his progress.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, who knows where he, like, because, especially those young rookies, they have nerves when they're trying to make the team. And in a preseason game, if he takes a headshot,
that's going to fuck with him for a while.
Yeah, the next time he steps out there,
he's afraid to get hit like that.
Maybe he's scared to go into a corner and win a puck battle.
Luckily, this kid, he's a tough kid. He's come in, he's been playing very well for the Blues. So
yeah, and thankfully that's not what happened, but who knows what could have happened.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a scummy thing to do. There's no reason for that. Ovechkin was actually the same way when he first came in, but it wasn't headshots. He was known for attacking the knees. He'd throw his knee out.
Yeah, which, people didn't really talk about it because he was putting up 50 goals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the league, it's funny.
He's
'cause
putting
the
up the points.
The league actually told him to cut the fucking shit, and he did it.
Yeah, I mean,
Because he respects the league.
well,
Or because he wants to.
they probably
play
just like said to him, like, dude, you don't need to do that.
like, dude,
like,
you're
you're
a
a
perennial
great
50
player.
goal scorer. Like, why
Yeah.
are you doing this?
And
You're 6'3", 250 pounds of like solid muscle.
yeah, Russian muscle.
Yeah, just throw a hit. You don't need to extend your knee. You can literally lay somebody out.
Yeah, it was funny. Kadri actually went for a knee on Ovechkin like a few years back. He missed, thankfully. But well, actually, he hit him in the knee, but he was fine.
See, I think that one's worse than the headshot.
Because
of
you
the
can
fact
mess up
that, like,
somebody's knee badly, where they
well,
can't
CTE
skate again.
is obviously like CTE
Well, yeah.
is bad. It's wicked bad.
Yeah,
But one bad hit to the head can give you a bad concussion, and you still won't get CTE. Like, you can be fine.
it's when you
can
have
recover from that.
repeated.
One bad hit to the knee,
Your
that
career
you
could be over.
You could stop walking.
Yeah,
That could literally, like, that's what happened with Cam Neely. Like, he couldn't play ever again. He came back and
He tried, and it was just too much.
he couldn't. Like, it just
Yeah.
wasn't able to play again. You shatter someone's kneecap. Another one, I think it was Gord Kluzak. Now, if I'm correct, he was a high draft pick for the Boston Bruins, defenseman, and he actually like fell awkwardly and went knee first into the boards, full speed. And this was back in like the 80s, so the padding wasn't all that good.
yeah.
He shattered his kneecap and could never play again.
No, I mean, you know,
Well,
that's what the game was back then. You know what I mean,
That's why the NFL doesn't have All-Star games on the beach anymore. Because the Patriots lost a key running back because he messed up his knee badly in the sand.
Well, that's like first iteration XFL level bad idea.
They used to have it on the beaches in Hawaii. It was I think it was flag football too.
How did you think that was going to work out? Like, these guys are athletes. They're going to go all
Oh,
out.
yeah.
They're going
Yeah.
full sweat.
That's why they built a stadium to do it now.
Yeah, and now that it's actual football, like, they don't try the All-Star game because nobody wants
Well,
to get
no,
hurt.
they just go like,
But if you make it fun, then they're like, all right, well, you know,
like putting Odell at corner.
yeah, so, you know, I want to show up and,
But
I
the
love
thing
when
is,
they
the league
switch
doesn't
their
like.
positions.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like
So-
Odell and corner. But the thing is, the league doesn't like that because they wanted an actual trying game.
oh, yeah.
It's an all-star game. That's why
Dude,
the
let's throw-
NHL doesn't care. They just
Well, they suspend you if you say you don't want to do it, though.
yeah, they suspend you if you don't go. But at the same time, like they don't care if you try or not.
Yeah.
True,
You
yeah.
know what I've found funny with this year's All-Star game is either you can just choose to not go and take your game
And have a longer
suspension,
vacation.
or you can just claim to have an injury. Like
Yeah.
Matthews, when he got selected,
Wrist brace.
ow, my hand, it's hurt.
And like Rask got over his concussion, but he still said he had a concussion, so he didn't have to play it.
Like, I mean, that's
He didn't want to re-aggravate.
Yeah,
that's also a smart move.
yeah.
But like Matthews just didn't. He was like, I don't.
And then there's
care.
Bergeron, who could have made it, and he just begs the fans not to vote for him so he can have the time off.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's 33. What's he need to go to another All-Star
I
game
know.
for?
Yeah, let some young guy have it. I don't
I
know.
want to see. I think there should be an age limit on the All-Star game because once you get to like 33 or like 32, you basically are like Bergeron. You're like, I would rather not. I've already done that.
I don't know. A lot of people
I've
look
done
at it as like another stat as well.
They should
Oh, you've been
just-
an All-Star selected? Like,
They should just do something so those people actually want to go.
Or
that too, because like the NBA
stop
people
punishing
love
them for not going.
Yeah.
Just
There's
put it
zero reason to punish them
just
for not
put
wanting
it-
to go.
at the end of the season so they actually want to go. Because the reason they don't want to go is because it's in the middle of the season. It's pretty simple.
Or put it at the
I
start.
don't know,
of the
just
season.
make it fun
Yeah.
out of it too, because the NBA has it in the middle of the season,
So
and
what
players love to do it.
What you could do is like the 2018 All-Star game could be played at the beginning of the 2019 season,
That's true.
and you just do it that way. That way, they actually want to play it. It'll help them get the rust off, and
Yeah.
you can do it that way.
Just, yeah, like the World Cup of Hockey that the NHL did a few years. Great success. Because it was before the season. It was kind of like an All-Star game atmosphere where it was just for fun. And the players had a good time with it. And it's surprising that the NHL was like, oh, let's just take the All-Star game and put it there.
Which I love it and all, but I don't think they're going to have it this year. I'd be shocked.
Well, they have a short season. They really don't have the time to do it.
No, they want to do an 82-game season.
That's just so tough.
They're starting in December.
Yeah, that's tough.
You have to cut out the bye week.
Mm-hmm.
That still might not even do it. You're going to have to cut out All-Star Weekend as well.
Like, it's so hard to have all 82 games because if you want it back on schedule, like, it's just impossible to do.
Oh, dude,
It's either that or you cut the off season shorter.
I love.
Well, they're starting to do the off season now. Teams that are not in the playoffs right now are able to trade.
Well, that's always the thing.
Yeah.
They just never do it. I love the NHL, but like, they almost made it perfect with how they handled this, and then they're like, "No, we're going to make it an 82-game season next season." And I was like, "You almost had it.
You can't.
You almost batted 1,000."
It's like the commercial. It's I think it's like Geico or something with a guy with the money on the fishing rod. He's like, "Oh, you almost had it."
Yeah, I mean the season shouldn't be 82 games, anyways. It's too long.
Oh, it's better than baseball. 160 something games.
Yeah, but there's a lot less contact in baseball.
Yeah,
hockey is the next step down from football contact.
Oh yeah,
and you're playing a lot longer.
Yeah, and it's.
I don't know. I think they just want.
Isn't
it they have to play a certain amount of teams a certain amount of times?
Yeah, but you can just change the rules because you're the people running the league. It's funny how that works.
Yeah. Well, you thought that too when I said the Bruins were going to be back to back.
They should have. That was the right call to make was to just push their series back a day.
Either way, there was going to be back-to-back games.
Yeah, exactly.
No, they wouldn't have.
If
they had to be done this round.
No, the way that the schedule was, games 6 and 7 were going to be back-to-back if there were games 6 and 7.
No, because you are the people running the league, right? So the funny thing about that is you can just
they're worried about
the rules.
time.
Yeah, but that's how they scheduled it. I'm telling you, like, either way, you were getting back-to-back games.
They were worried about timing.
Regardless.
They have to be done by a certain time because if they want to be able to get the next season, if they want to get the next season started going.
But, like, dude.
Again, like I said, if you got to go to Edmonton, you already got to wait 2 weeks now because you just traveled the team.
They haven't said that that's what they're going to do, though. They haven't said that. So
I
don't think they are.
Produce 4 negative tests. They never said what the time frame was.
But like, dude, think about what they're doing right now. They're running a professional sports league in the middle of a pandemic. If their season just ends one day later because of that happening, that's a resounding success, in my opinion. Like, you ended one day late and you had no positive tests. All right, good for you. Like, and then you look at, especially when you look at how MLB is doing things, they're getting tests left and right.
A bunch of clowns, that's what they are.
Like, it's not that big a deal. And I don't know. They should have made the right call.
Let's just wait until football gets in. Let's see who's the bigger clown.
I mean,
yeah.
The way
there's so many people too. That's like
the thing is,
scary.
a lot of people are already opting out because they know it's not a good idea.
Yeah,
it's like get a bubble.
The amount of people it takes to run a football team.
You play one day anyways, so it's not like it's a big thing. Spread it out within the day, within the week, and stay in one bubble.
There's so many people though. Like, there's so many people that make up a team, and then there's so many people that...
You don't need the full 52 roster. You really
don't.
don't. Because you need 11 and 11.
Yeah,
honestly...
Dylan, do you need 11 and 11? Nobody's going to get hurt? Really?
Yes, you need the 11 and 11, and a little bit off the bat. Look at basketball. You don't think anybody's going to get hurt, and they only have the people they need to go down there.
Well, the way I see
basketball's pretty low injury. Considering the...
Look at Paul George's injury, bud.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah,
but dude,
it's still like...
It happens.
The amount of injuries that happen in football are a lot higher.
Yeah, there's such a high rate of... I mean, dude, look at... You're a football player, you should know. Like, you seriously think they don't need a full roster for a full season?
Getting injured is... Yes, it happens, but if you look throughout the league, it's very low unless you're playing in 2016 where everybody got hurt every single day.
Well, dude, if you have, let's say, you have 2 tight ends with you in the bubble, and they both get hurt. All right, so now we need to bring in a third tight end. You bring him in, and he's got to quarantine for 2 weeks. So now that's 2 games where you don't have a tight end. Like, they need to have them there. maybe you don't need like your third string quarterback. Like I don't know, you don't really need that guy. But like
It's just like bubble it by
Well, you can't do two bubbles with that. You
AFC
need to do,
and NFC.
No, you need to do by division.
conference.
if
by
you're
conference.
if you're doing the whole season, you can't do it with a bubble.
You have
it
to
doesn't
do,
make
no,
sense.
You'd have to do the 4 bubbles. So what you would do is 4
You have-
bubbles, and what you do is all the teams in one bubble play each other, or you do the 2 bubbles and you do like the East West.
That's
which
what
would
I
be
was
a
saying.
little bit harder to
Well,
do.
no, that
because
would be
it's a lot
AFC
of
and
people.
NFC.
It's a lot of people.
But that means a lot.
But all AFC play each other, all NFC play each other, and then like the 1 seeds at each.
Which it's
would
not like
get-
they don't have enough stadiums
Yeah.
to be in there.
The 1 seeds would get like a bye. The rest of the teams would all do like the playoffs, and then you could just work your way in there, and then you could just set one of the bubbles as the Super Bowl.
It's very tough.
Or in that time, find a place to host the Super Bowl, and then quarantine the fuck out of that place, so that way when you go
well,
in,
they already have a
you're
place for the
already
Super Bowl.
ready.
The place is already set. I
Then-
forget where it is, but they plan it like 5 years in advance.
Then
Yeah, they do it like the
Yeah,
Olympics.
can you look at that? I kind of want to know where they're playing, but
wherever it is, like just
Well,
have
I mean,
it ready.
dude,
to,
you
I
know
think
what I
it's
mean?
Atlanta.
have it ready to be a bubble.
You don't even really need to have a host city because there's not going to be any fans there. So what's the point in having a host city?
Yeah.
That's the only reason they
Like
do
you said,
it.
to quarantine the shit out of it.
Yeah, but like they can do it in whatever facility is the best. I mean, they can just do that. I mean, where is the? Nope, that's not how you spelled that. Wow, good job.
Or, I mean, another way you could do is shorten the season, play playoffs, go right to Super Bowl.
It is Atlanta.
It is Atlanta. All right, so
Yeah.
that's right.
Hot Atlanta.
But like, if they don't have the best facilities,
Their
not gonna
indoor
have fans.
stadium, so that's already good there.
yeah. But I mean, you got to think about the hotel proximity, all that stuff. You got to think about how that state and that city is handling COVID. Because if they're not handling it correctly, they're not going to be there.
Well,
That's why
Florida-
Vegas got rolled out for the NHL because Vegas had a sudden spike in cases.
Florida's a bubble, and they aren't handling it very well.
exactly. The Florida's a bubble down there.
For
Yeah.
basketball and baseball.
I
Well,
mean,
baseball
No,
doesn't
not
have
baseball.
one, but baseball was one of the reasons why that's where a lot of the cases were coming from.
Yeah.
Shocker. Florida doing something wrong? No. No way. Couldn't be.
Running a state? What?
I don't
You
know.
can do that?
Having a meme that doesn't say Florida Man? What?
Because, like, what is baseball is just business as usual, but no fans, right? That's
Yeah.
all they're doing.
Yeah.
So clearly that doesn't work. Clearly,
That's why I was saying you can't do that with football. That's what they're trying to do. Business as usual, no fans.
no, like, you can't do it that way.
All that travel, there's just too much. You'd have to quarantine. You'd have to play a game every other week, so you'd have to cut it down to eight games. That way you can quarantine for 2 weeks and then play a game on that next week.
Yeah, and then it. I mean, there's no way the NHL plays a full season. There's no way. Like, they're gonna have to cut it down to like 60 games or something, in my opinion. Which is like the season itself should probably be like 70. But for this upcoming season, cut it down to 60, maybe less. Whatever's gonna work. And then you're probably gonna have to find a way to do some sort of bubble. I don't know.
Claude Julien just got hospitalized with chest pains, so he's out. Kirk Mueller is going to
Okay.
take over.
That is
That's rough.
Yeah.
Well, I doubt it's COVID because
It might just be age.
Well, if it's COVID, then they wouldn't have disclosed what it is.
Yeah.
That's how they've been doing. Any like health condition that involves COVID, they don't say it is because it's a polite thing to do with the player. I don't know. I don't know his health history, so.
No, I mean...
But
so-
it could be COVID because the COVID affects people so differently. Like some people, it's difficulty breathing. Some people, it's a minor cold. Maybe it's chest pains for him. I don't know.
On top of it, it could be something even more serious than that. Like, that could be a sign of a stroke or a
That's
heart
what I
attack.
was saying.
Right,
That's what I was
yeah.
trying to go with.
Because he's an older guy.
Yes. And a bigger sized guy, too.
Yeah. No, I mean, All the best to him. Hopefully he's
I know
okay.
that was probably a tough decision for him, but like, I mean, I can only imagine that he started having those chest pains. Was like, okay, I need to do something.
Oh, dude, Nolan Clote, you probably had him a week ago.
But he was probably consistently having them. He's like, listen, I need to get this checked out. So
Yeah. All the best to him. I hope he's all right.
That definitely sucks. Hopefully it's nothing serious.
Yeah.
It's just bad heartburn. Lay off the pasta.
Hey, man. He's been
Or
laying off
spaghetti dinner before.
He's been laying off the pasta for a few years now, right? Since he's been in Montreal, he's been laying off it. You see, because Pasternak, his nickname's no.
And to conclude the podcast,
Oh, brother, this guy stinks.
that joke was a load of barnacles.
I love that, man.
That guy is my spirit animal.
Well, kind of a rough note to end it on, unless you guys
Yeah.
want to talk about anything else. I got nothing.
I got it.
Other than game 2 tonight, 8
Yeah,
o'clock,
game 2.
8 o'clock. How you guys feeling? What are you guys thinking?
Back to back.
OT.
I'm also kind of hearing that Rask is probably going to get the start.
He is going to start? I heard that Halak was most likely going to
I
get
was
put
hearing-
in.
I was hearing on Felger and Maz, they were like, Rask is most likely going to be the guy.
Well,
That's going to be
It's early.
iffy.
It's
I
early.
know.
It's early.
here's my
Because
prediction.
he got a lot. Well, he didn't have a lot of shots on him.
Here's
last
my
night either.
prediction. James Reimer. He's going in for the Hurricanes. There it is. English people. Do you speak it? He's going to make 30 to 35 saves because he likes his shots. That's how he plays well. Canes are going to get done tonight. All right? They're going to give up the series 1-1. And we'll go...
OT, regulation.
Regulation will go 4-2 with an empty netter.
So, 3-2.
Yeah, 3-2, empty netter, 4-2. That's what we'll go.
What are you feeling, Dylan? What are you feeling?
I'm feeling it's going to be a low-scoring game because everybody's going to be tired. I'm going to say 2-1. I'm going to say if Rask is going in...
empty netter. 2-1 empty net goal, game winner.
2 empty nets.
Yep.
1 for each team.
I will say Boston.
See, I think it's going to be the opposite. I think they're going to be tired. I think it's going to be like a 4-3 game.
Oh, you got to be fucking kidding
Yeah,
me.
see, that's the thing, though, because it could be tired and they don't score, or tired and that opens it up. To who he's
That's what I was
looking
saying.
at.
I was saying they tied that it's going to be...
I think it's going to be a 4-3, and I think I've talked so much shit about Nick Ritchie, it's going to go to overtime and he's going to win it.
It's going to be Richie burying it top shelf. He's going to finally lift the puck.
I talked so much shit about this guy. He's going to fucking
No,
make
he's
me
not
eat
going to
my
score.
words.
I'm sorry. He's not going to fucking
This
score.
motherfucker's going to score. He's going to be like, fuck you, Kobe.
The dude had an open net and he still found a way to hit the fucking blade of a player.
No, he shot it into that guy's ass.
Still.
He hit him in the ass.
Still. You missed an
Hit
open
him,
net.
hit him with the Doug
He
Glatt.
pulled a me. He missed an open net and hit a player. That shouldn't have even been hit.
Hey, to be fair, Jake DeBrusk had 2 great opportunities.
He
Fucked
just
him up.
couldn't bury. He was a plumber
What
that night.
fucking passing by David Krejci. Did you see that first one where Jake DeBrusk was at the
I
side
think he was
of the
still.
net?
I think he was still rolling in his grave.
Could have been. Well, so it was a 2-on-1.
Are you talking about the one when DeBrusk passed it through the 5-hole?
No, it was the one time.
That was a great play.
That was a great play.
It was the one timer. Fucking Krejci's. So it's basically me and you. You're coming up on the off wing, getting ready to feed me for a one timer. Because in Chell, I'm a lefty. Jake DeBrusk is ready. I mean, this guy, he's sniffing a goal. You smell that? Puck comes right
Nose
over-
for the net, that guy.
Exactly.
Nose for the net.
Beautiful saucer pass goes like right in between the player, goes right by the
Mm.
goalie, right on this motherfucker's stick, hits the post.
He was a plumber.
Bang.
Yep.
He
Bang.
hits the
Yep.
post.
He did it twice. He was so pissed. He broke his stick last night because of it.
Yeah, on the second one, this one, I mean, this was some Dylan level shit.
You hate to see it.
This pass was even nicer because it went through like 5 people.
Uh-huh.
It went through like the entire team. David Krejci finds a way to get it right over to Jake
Because it's
DeBrusk.
Krejci.
DeBrusk, it was a really good pass, but it wasn't like tape to tape. So he kicks it off his skate.
Oh, I saw that one, yeah.
Puts it on his stick. No one's there. All you have to do is just tuck it in, and the guy tries to roof it.
Hate to see it.
Dylan's over here like bitching about it. It's like, excuse me, sir.
Yep.
That's like your speciality next to hitting the goalie in the chest.
Well,
I don't
They
think I've
give
ever
me
seen,
a target.
I don't think
It's a
I've ever
circle.
seen someone
It's
more
a
consistent.
target.
Like, at least you're
You haven't
consistent
played with
it.
me. You haven't played with me recently,
At
so
least
you don't
you're
know how I
consistent
am.
with hitting the chest. I'll give you that.
Bet.
Well-
warm up in net. Let's go.
we're going to end it off, boys, on that note. And Dylan, you've been watching the film.
Yes.
Good looks, buddy. Congratulations.
Yeah,
I saw you in the film room. I saw you.
Round of applause. Dylan started watching some film.
He's been watching film. And on that note, see you guys next week.
Love you guys.